All right. Good afternoon, baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are here for start number 37 of our 1969 Fergie Jenkins Payoff Pitch Replay. And today, the Pirates, led by the rifle-armed Roberto Clemente, come to Wrigley Field to take on the usual crew, Fergie and the Cubs. And I'm going to be doing something a little bit different in this game for runner advancement and errors. This is very similar to a chart that I use for Great Days Baseball, which is a game that I will be releasing at some point in the future after I get all the boxing sets out and release college football. But I'm going to use it for runner advancement and errors and range checks versus the cards, fast action cards, which I usually use in conjunction with the dice. So to incorporate that chart, I'll be rolling a 1d20 with my regular rolls, and we will use the chart as applicable to determine runner advancement. So to get to our start, Fergie comes into this with a 23-10 record in our replay. In real life, he was 19-11 at this point in the season. ERA 2.25 in the replay, 2.90 in real life. Captain Carl, what's up, buddy? Just getting ready to get started. Welcome to the game. And innings pitched, 270 in real life, 284 in the replay. Hits surrendered, 229, real life, 209 replay. Bases on balls, 60-42. Strikeouts, 239 in real life, 230 in the replay, and 22 home runs in real life to 19 in the replay. The Cubs won this game 8-2. It was played 9-2 of 1969. And in games that Fergie has started, the Cubbies were 22-13 at this point in real life. In the replay, they are 24-11. So we are set to go. And first batter for the Cubbies. Our lineups, first of all, I guess. For the Pirates, Matty Alou in center, Gene Alley at second, Roberto Clemente in right, Al Oliver at first, Manny Sanguillen behind the dish, Richie Hebner at the hot corner, Carl Taylor in left, Freddie Patek at short, and Bob Veal on the hill. For the Cubbies, the usual crew, Don Kessinger short, Glenn Beckert at second, Billy Williams in left, Ron Santo at the hot corner, Ernie Banks at first, Jim Hickman in right, Randy Hundley catching, Don Young back in center field. Oscar Gamble got the start last time, and of course Fergie on the hill. We are ready to go. Matty Alou steps up, and it's time to play ball. And wheelhouse, auspicious start, and 21. That is going to be a single for Alou. So fortunate to surrender that to the leadoff batter and not a subsequent hitter. Going to bring up Gene Alley. Alley against right-handed pitching in 1969 hit 245. Here we go. And 9, it's going to be tough. And 98, that's going to be a fly ball into left field, one down. Excuse me. As is standard this time of year in Arizona, allergies are absolutely kicking my ass. So one down, and Roberto Clemente comes up. Fergie gets the sign, kicks, delivers, and 68. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base. And the 2 is going to be a double play, and again using a modified advancement chart that actually goes with Glory Days Baseball, a game which is in development for long-term release down the road. But that gets the Cubbies out of the inning. The Pirates get a hit. No runs, no errors, leave nobody, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score in this one. Cubbies coming to bat, and Don Kessinger. Check in with the chat here. Remember the great sports. Hey, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the game. Just in time. Fergie, yeah, I actually, if you've seen any other games, I actually got to meet Ernie Banks from this team when I lived in L.A., worked for Ork, and he worked, I guess, in a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a publicity position for Allied Van Lines, I guess. So he really nice guy. I didn't have anything cool for him to sign, so he actually signed an Orkin door plaque, which I have in my memorabilia collection somewhere, but really cool to talk to. So, oh, nice. Did you just order that today? I just got finished filling an order for the full package, which will go out tomorrow. So appreciate the support. Yeah, Ernie's a really cool guy. Really. I got to talk to him a couple of times when he was there, when I'd go to do the spraying around one of their corporate buildings. But Bob Veal ready to go, and it's going to be a patient check to Don Kessinger. And 59, that's going to be a fly ball into right field. So Cubbies, one quick out, and it looks like we might be headed for another typical pitching duel, which seems to happen a lot in this replay. 1969. 16 is going to be an in-play result, but Beckert looks to alter that as he singles up the middle, and one down, runner on first base for sweet swinging Billy Williams, as the Cubbies looking to get off to a fast start here. And Fergie got off to a slow start his last time off. Veal, here comes pitch tough. Swing and a miss, high heat, and Williams, a big hack at that, but he goes down. Nothing but air. 2 down, runner on first base, and that brings up the cleanup batter, Ron Santo. Okay, yeah, that's the order I filled this morning. That's so cool. Again, thanks for the support, Captain Carl, and that will be, like I said, on the way tomorrow. So hope you enjoy that and get some hours in on that. Fergie now ready to pitch to Al Oliver as second inning is, I'm sorry, we're still in the first. I got carried away there on Santo up, and that's going to be a tough result, and 60 to Santo in the tough column. That's going to be a fly ball into shallow right field. Clemente comes in to put that away. Now the side is retired as the Cubbies get a hit. No runs, no errors, leave one. We head to the top of the second inning. No score in this one. And Al Oliver set to lead it off for the Pirates. Fergie gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and that's going to be in play result. Ground ball down to shortstop. Kessinger ranges into the hole, picks it up, whips it sidearm to Banks. One down. Manny Sanguillen, who probably got as low as any catcher in the history of the game. He did the splits behind the plate. Very good defensive catcher. And tough result from Fergie, and 54. He's going to fight that off. However, it's going to be a fly ball, looking like it's going to drop into right field, and coming in fast, Jim Hickman, shoe top grab, and that's 2 down as Richie Hebner comes up. Pirates first baseman, his first at bat of the game today, and that'll be an in-play result. And Hebner drives that into left field, but sweet swinging Billy Williams right there as the Pirates go in order in the second. No score as we head to the bottom of the frame. Mr. Cubby, Ernie Banks, who is a topic of our chat here a little bit earlier, set to lead it off. And Veal. It's going to be a tough result. And Ernie, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Veal as Ernie, unable to get any karma here from Bleacher Bum Sports Network chat as he goes down swinging. Brings up right fielder Jim Hickman. And that is going to be another tough result. And 81 saved the strikeout. Instead, that'll be a ground ball down to shortstop and right at Freddie Patek, who whips it across the diamond. 2 down as Randy Hundley steps up to the plate. Hundley, he has had a pretty good replay. Leads the Cubbies in home runs, at least when Fergie is on the hill. And it's going to be a tough result, and no home run here as he's frozen. Curveball catches the outside corner. And Hundley gets a bowl of Special K, heads back to the dugout. 3 up, 3 down go the Cubs, heading to the third. And looking for our first run in this one. In fact, our first threat. No team has put a runner on second base yet. As Carl Taylor set to lead it off for the Buccos. And just checking in with the chat. Bob Veal. Yeah, Bob Veal. They also had Moose, and there was a pitcher named Lamb, so they would have had quite the menu with all 3 of those on the same staff. So Fergie set to pitch to Carl Taylor, and 6. That's going to be a tough result. 80 as Taylor grounds that down to Kessinger. And 3 hopper for Don, whips it across the diamond. 1 down. Freddie Patek comes up. And Patek, that's going to be an in-play result, and he gets some good wood on that. 75 is going to be a fly ball into center field, going back to the track to haul that in. No problem out there for Don Young. 2 down. Brings up the pitcher spot, Bob Veal. Bob Veal steps out, takes his thick glasses off, wipes away the steam, steps back in. Humid day here in Chicago. And here comes a pitch, and that's going to be a ballpark check. 48 Wrigley, and that will be a wheelhouse. So Veal, unfortunately, not a very good hitting pitcher, but he's got a chance. Gets into a good wood, and Veal drives that back into right field. It is gone. The pitcher takes Fergie deep, and the Pirates jump off to a 1-0 lead as the unthinkable happens. Fergie, that is the first time he has been taken deep in this replay by an opposing pitcher, and he is not happy. Veal, cleaning off the glasses, helped that swing as he got all of that, and Fergie kicks the mound in disgust. 2 down, brings up Matty Lou, top of the order for the Bucs. And another wheelhouse result. Lou cranks that, and that's a ground ball. The Kessinger just got over the top of it. Hard shot, but Kessinger makes a play, and side is retired. But the Bucs get a hit. 1 run, leave nobody. The home run by the pitcher, Bob Veal, and Pittsburgh leads Chicago 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the inning. Set to lead off, center fielder Don Young. Veal gets a sign, and he's full of himself after that home run off Fergie as Don Young grounds that down to Patek. Nice play by Freddie. 1 down in the bottom of the 3rd for the Cubbies. Fergie comes up. See if he can get a little revenge and hit one of his own. 10, that's going to be an in-play result. And 20, just missed getting that into the hole. Instead, that is going to be a line drive, and snagging that nicely at second base for the Pirates is going to be Gene Alley. So Fergie took a good shot at that and got good wood on it, but right at the second baseman, 2 down, top of the order. And I don't know what the hell. Once a game, I'm good for turning the batter on their head. Here we go. Kessinger, 2 down, looking to get a 2-out rally going. Patient result. And Kessinger instead is going to ground that down to second base. And Alley makes a routine play there. 3 up, 3 down, go the Cubbies again. We are through 3. And Pittsburgh leads us 1-0. Top of the 4th coming up. And Ken Castro, welcome, buddy. Yeah, I was about to say before I rolled, I'm not the right guy to get the wheelhouse result on, but you got good wood, took Fergie deep. Fergie's had some trouble giving up the long ball the last couple of starts. And just checking with the chat, remember the great sports. Al Oliver met Al once, and Clemente Starge will have more career hits than any other hit. That's actually, and they played together a while. And just think about if Clemente had actually played longer, if he hadn't got into that tragic plane accident. That Pittsburgh had some excellent talent. I'm really surprised that during this time they really didn't do more. But again, less teams and talent wasn't so evenly dispersed at that time. And you know, there were some tough teams in the National League, especially in 1969. So we are set to go as Fergie, and we're going to get an in-play result. And Alley, 78, that's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop as a ground out starts the 4th for the Pirates. And that brings up the aforementioned Roberto Clemente. Clemente hit into a double play his first time up. It's going to be a wheelhouse result. Clemente, big swing, and no doubt about that. And back in left field, sweet swinging Billy Williams does not even turn around, as he knew from the crack of the bat that was gone. That sails onto Waveland Avenue. And 2 long balls as Fergie. He gave up 3 in his last start, and so he's getting snake bitten by the home run. 2-0 Pittsburgh as Al Oliver steps up to the plate. Can he go back to back? And that is going to be a patient result. And 82 will be a ground ball down to second base. Beckert, couple of steps to his right, short throw to Banks, 2 down. Manny Sanguillen, the batter. So Fergie again getting bit by that long ball. He was taken to task by the Reds in his last start. This is going to be in-play result. And Sanguillen, 46, that's going to be a ground ball down to Santo right at him. Strides into it, whips it across the diamond side, retired. But Pittsburgh, Another home run, another solo shot by the great Roberto Clemente, and they have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Glenn Beckert set to be up for the Cubs. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's a good comparative list you put up. He definitely you can make a real strong case for Al Oliver, and hopefully the Veterans Committee does right by him. He's one of a couple of guys out there that really should be in the Hall of Fame. As we start the fourth inning, Beckert looking to get a rally going, and it'll be a patient result. Beckert ground ball down to shortstop. Patek scoops that up behind second base, and nice quick throw. One down for sweet swinging Billy Williams. Williams struck out his first time up. Veal gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and that's going to be a patient result. And 61 just missed hitting him. Instead, that's going to be a pop fly, and that's going to be shallow left field. Coming in to take care of that is Carl Taylor. So Williams gets jammed on an inside pitch, loops it into left field, but not deep enough to, or shallow enough, I guess, to score a hit. As third baseman, cleanup batter, Ron Santo steps up. That's going to be an in-play result. And Santo rips that into the outfield. That is between shortstop and third base, and the Cubbies have a 2-out single, their second hit of the game. Santo rounds the bag, steps back, and Ernie Banks, Mr. Cubby, he can tie this with one stroke of his mighty bat. That will be an in-play result, and not going to happen there, but 21, that's going to be a base hit. And again, using the 1D20 and our base running chart. So first to third, and that will be a one base advancement. And I guess one thing I didn't take into account using this chart is the hit locations. They're not listed here, so I will be going back to the fat cards. I guess I should have realized that before I started, but no worries. 2 down, two runners on for the Cubs. And Jim Hickman, the batter. Hickman grounded out to short his first time up. We do not need this any longer. And 7, that's going to be another in-play result. And Hickman, and we are going to the rare play chart. And I do use the Glory Days Baseball rare play chart. So we have multiple runners on. Let's see what we get here. And I'm going to shake that again. 0-5. And catcher interference. Batter awarded first base. Runners advance. So Veal now, the sacks are loaded, and 2 down for Randy Hundley. Let's see if Hundley can come up with a big hit. Digs in at the plate. In-play result, Hundley. Nice swing, but that is going to be shallow right field, and lots of room out there for Clemente as he runs and heads to the dugout as he snatches the ball out of the air. So the Cubbies are stymied. Get the bases loaded on a couple of hits and catcher's interference, but they leave them loaded. We head to the 5th, almost halfway through this one. Pittsburgh leads us 2-0, and Richie Hebner set to lead it off against Fergie. And tough result, Fergie coming out firing BBs, and Hebner's going to ground that down to Santo. It was almost a self-defense swing on that slider. Easy play for Ron, 1 down. Left fielder Carl Taylor up. And patient for Fergie, and Taylor, he's going to draw the base on ball. Fergie's first walk of the game, and Fergie, he only had a couple of strikeouts his last start and none yet today. So Freddie Patek steps in, runner on first base, and 8, going to be tough. And there you go. All I have to do is say it, swing and a miss. Patek, the high heat, can't catch up with that. That brings up Veal. And Veal with 1 out, is he going to bunt? They're going to let him hit. He went deep last time after all. No such luck here. That's a ground ball down to second base, and that is going to be that will be above both pitcher and batter double play rating. So runner will advance, doesn't matter anyway, 3rd out of the inning. So the Pirates, no runs, no hits, no errors. They get a walk, leave 1 as we are halfway through this, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Pittsburgh leads Chicago 2-0 on the strength of 2 solo home runs, and Don Young set to lead it off against Veal. And Veal is going to have a tough result against Young. 65, swing and a miss, and Young does not do well against left-handers. So that is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Veal. And Fergie is on the on-deck circle. They're going to let him hit. Still a close game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And 6 in play result, and Fergie fly ball into left field, and can of corn out there for Carl Taylor. As we go to the top of the order, 2 down, and the Cubbies, only 3 hits off Veal thus far, looking for Don Kessinger to start a spark. And here we go, patient, and Kessinger, he's going to draw the base on balls there, trots down to first. So the 2-out walk, let's see if the Cubbies can capitalize on that as Glenn Beckert comes up. Beckert today, he is 1 for 2, has singled and grounded out to short. Here comes a pitch by Veal, ballpark, and 70. That is going to be an in-play result. So Beckert, 23 against a lefty, and that is going to be a single. And opposite field liner, and runners advance 1 base with the opportunity to go 2, and Kessinger. That's going to be Clemente, and we are not going to challenge his arm. So station to station they go, and that is probably wise. 2 down, now 2 on, and sweet swinging Billy Williams steps up, and Williams, he can turn Cubby fortunes around with 1 swing of that mighty bat. Patient result, 39 against the lefty, and that is going to be a 39 is actually going to be a triple, and we are tied. Williams drives that into the corner, and Taylor slips getting to it. Both runners come around to score, so all this happening with 2 outs, and Cubbies back in the game for Fergie. It is 2-2, 2 out, 2-run triple for sweet swinging Billy Williams, and Santo now looking to give the Cubs the lead. And Veal looking to get out of this without any further damage. And 88, it's going to be a ground ball down to Patek, and the side is retired. But the Cubbies, a couple of hits, a walk, 2 runs, and we are through 5. We are all knotted up at 2 as we head to the 6th inning. And we have a brand new ball game here first, folks. So checking back in, and yeah, I'm close, Ken, on this project. I've got, well, let's just start 37. So I think four more starts after this is all. So yeah, it's taken a while, but it's been fun doing. Fergie was a gopher ball pitcher. You know what's funny? He's been pretty good throughout this replay. He's kind of gone in streaks. He's gone 4 or 5 starts and not surrendered a single home run. But these last 2 starts, I think he has a total of 5 given up now. So he definitely is streaky in terms of the long ball, and it's kind of bitten him the last 2 times out. I used to really like watching him pitch as a kid. Back then, it was, of course, the game of the week. You had just that single game on Saturday, and that was always fun. We'd play baseball all morning and then go to one house or the other and drink Kool-Aid and watch baseball. And then you'd get maybe 10 or 12 Monday night games as well. So, yeah, watching baseball on TV back then in the early 70s and whatnot was kind of an event because you just didn't get the coverage you get now. So Matty Alou looking to get the Pirates back on top as we start the 6th, and that's not going to do it as Fergie slider at the knees, and Alou does not even take the bat off his shoulder, just shakes his head, smiles, heads back to the dugout. Gene Alley, the batter, and another tough result, and Fergie, he is throwing BBs, high heat. Gene Alley can't catch up with that. 2 down, 2 strikeouts to start the 6th. And that brings up Roberto Clemente, who took Fergie deep last time. And Fergie's not going to have it this time. 62, tough result. And that's going to be a ground or a fly ball into right field. Sorry. But routine, plenty of room out in right for Hickman. And the Pirates go 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. As Fergie now finally looks like he's settled in, gotten rid of the gopheritis, and the Cubbies looking to take the lead here. Ernie Banks leading it off against Veal. Patient result. And 28. And Ernie wraps that in the gap in left center. And that hits up the wall. Gets stuck in the ivy. Ernie, stand-up double. As the outfielder holds her hands up. Umpire says, stay right there, Mr. Banks. So leadoff double, and the Cubbies are in business here in the 6th. Jim Hickman, the batter. We need to give them their first lead of the game, and tough result, 45. And that's going to be a single. So Hickman, it's a soft looper into short left field. A runner on second advances only a single base. So first and third, nobody out. And the Pirates, they're going to get some action going. Speaking of pitchers with a last name with a dish, Bob Moose is up. So we start our day with a course of veal, and Moose will be the second course. Unless Veal can get out of this. Here we go. Randy Hundley, nobody out. Runners at corners, tough result. And Hundley, swing and a miss. He took a big cut, nothing but air. And a big strikeout now for Veal. That sets up the double play with one down. Pirates infield adjusts accordingly. And here we go. 8. It's going to be another tough result. And Young, 56, swing and a miss. Second time he's been sent down on strikes. So Veal rising to the occasion here. Runners at the corners, nobody out. He comes back and strikes out 2. Cubbies have a decision to make. First and third, 2 down, tie ball game, bottom of the 6th. They're going to let Fergie pitch. So that's how we did it back in those days. And Fergie, 57. That's going to be a fly ball into shallow right field. Clemente comes in, waves off the second baseman coming out. And after 2 hits to start the inning, Side is retired. So Veal rises to the occasion, and we are through 6 innings, 2-2 as we head to the 7th. 3 innings to go. And Fergie Jenkins set to face Al Oliver. And Oliver, that's going to be an in-play result. And it'll be a ground ball down to Banks, and Ernie, flashing the glove that he used to show as a shortstop, takes that himself, 1 down. Manny Sanguine, the batter. And Sanguine today, he is 0 for 2 and 3. He's going to make that 0 for 3 and swing and a miss as Fergie, he's got the K ball going now. 3 of the last 5 batters have gone down on strikes, and that brings up Richie Hebner. As Fergie gets stronger as the game goes along, and Hebner, big cut, and he was way out in front of that curveball, and he looked foolish. Spun around, strike 3, and we go to the 7th inning stretch, still tied at 2. As Fergie, he has come on in the late innings to start locating his pitches better than he did early, giving up home runs in the 3rd and the 4th. Don Kessinger looking to break the tie. Bob Veal still on the hill for the Pirates. And 28, that's going to be a pop fly behind home plate, and going back to get that near the screen is Sanguine. So 1 down to start the 7th inning. And Glenn Beckert, the batter. Beckert singled and scored his last time up. He's 2 for 3 today, making a run for the Cubbies offensive MVP. And that'll be a tough result. And 62, ground ball down to second base, and easy play there for Gene Alley. 4-3 is how you score that. 2 down for sweet swinging Billy Williams. And Williams, the big bat for the Cubs thus far, a 2-run triple back in the 5th, tied this game up. And patient result, and Williams, 74, and that's going to be a fly ball into center field, and plenty of room out in center there. Routine fly for Matty Alou. That's his first put out of the day as the Cubbies go down in order in the 7th. So we've got a pitcher's duel coming down to the wire. Top of the 8th, 2-2. It's going to be Taylor, Patek, and the pitcher spot. So let's see what Pittsburgh will do here. And tough result for Fergie, 53 for Taylor. And that is going to be a single. He fights off a wicked slider. And that almost assures Bob Veal day of coming to a close here. Freddie Patek will be the batter. 1 down, and some strategy going on as Patek is called out of the box to talk to the third base coach. And they are going to try the hit and run. Here we go. So Fergie, 6, and that's going to be tough. 69. Patek better hope he gets some wood on that. 69, and that's going to be a ground ball down to second base. Taylor's going to get to second. Only play for Beckert will be the put out to first base. So runner on second, and that brings up the pitcher spot. So one down, runner in scoring position. And coming off of the bench for the Pirates is going to be Pops. Willie Stargell will be the pinch hitter. So Fergie, this is an epic matchup. This is the matchup you want in a close game like this. Top of the 8th inning, runner on second. As Veal's day comes to a close, and Veal goes 7 innings. He actually did not pitch too bad. Ran into some rough territory in the 5th inning, but he gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Walked 1 and struck out 5. And Moose will be the new Pirates pitcher. In the 8th inning. So here we go. Fergie stares down Pops. Here comes a pitch, and 9. That's going to be a tough result, and 63 for Stargell. Almost got a hit. Instead, that's going to be a fly ball into medium left field. Easy play out there for Williams. So Stargell is retired. And back to the top of the order, 2 outs. And Matty Alou, he's been kind of quiet today. Did single to start the game, but grounded out, struck out his last time. And here we go. 7's going to be an in-play result, 97. And Fergie's going to pitch out of it again. That's a fly ball into right field. And Jim Hickman takes a few steps back, pulls that in. And the Cubbies, after giving up a leadoff single, get out of it. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 2. And on the hill now for the Pirates, Bob Moose, and he's going to face Ron Santo to start things off. Santo today is 1 for 3, a single, fly out, and a ground out, and going to be a tough result, 45 against the right-hander. And Santo starts off the 8th with a single off of Moose, and Cubbies are in business. Ernie Banks up. Banks, and that will be followed by Hickman and Hundley. 7, tough result, and Ernie, 38, swing and a miss. So Banks has sandwiched a single and a double in this one between 2 strikeouts, 1 down. Santos still on first, Jim Hickman the batter. And Hickman has reached base on catcher's interference, singled his last time up. So 8 is going to be a tough result, and 80, that'll be a ground ball down to shortstop, and 8, double play rating of 6, that'll be a fielder's choice. So 6-4, Santo is retired, and fielder's choice Hickman. On at first base for Randy Hundley, and Moose gets assigned tough, 53. And Hundley, that's going to be a 2-out single. And again, that's going to be a line drive into left field. Runner on first base advances 1, so too hard to get the runner to third. But first and second, 2 down. And Don Young, Cubbies want something to happen here. They don't want to have to take Fergie out. He's been pitching well the last few innings. 6 for Moose, and patient result, 48. Don Young, and Young is going to draw the base on balls, and the Cubbies are going to be forced to make the change. So bases are loaded, and the pitcher spot coming up, Fergie, is going to get called back, so he will get a, well, potentially still a win in this one. At worst, he gets a no decision. And looking down the bench, it is going to be one thing the Cubs in '69 did not have is a very hardy bench in terms of hitters. So Willie Smith, the left-hander, is going to be your pinch hitter. As Fergie's day comes to an end, he goes 8 innings. And Fergie only gave up 4 hits, but 2 home runs did him in. Walked 1 and struck out 5. So Fergie's day is done, and the new pitcher for the Cubbies when they come back is going to be Ted Abernathy. All right, here we go. Willie Smith. This is a big at bat in this game. 2 down, bases loaded. Bob Moose trying to get out of the inning. And 6, that is going to be patient. And 0-3, and he has walked in the go-ahead run. So Fergie on hook to get the win here as Moose. His control betrays him. And the Cubbies have fought all the way back to take a 3-2 lead. Top of the order now. Base is still loaded for Don Kessinger. And Moose, beside himself, gets a sign. He wants to get out of this without any further damage. 46, tough to Kessinger. And Kessinger, ground ball down to third base. And Ebner picks that up. Nice stop in the hole and just nips Kessinger by a footstep. So that could have been worse. But the Cubbies, they get 2 hits, 2 walks, and break through with the go-ahead run here in the 8th inning, 3-2 as we go to the 9th. And this will be the last chance for the Buccos as Ted Abernathy is going to try and nail this down for the save and give Fergie his 24th win of this replay. 23-10 coming in, and Gene Alley set to lead it off. Here we go. Top of the 9th inning. And 6, that's going to be in play, and it can't be that easy as Alley leads it off with a single, 5th hit of the game for the Pirates. And Roberto Clemente, who's already homered in this game, Abernathy gets his sign straight with Hundley. They don't want to make a mistake here, and going to be a tough result. 14, swing and it struck him out. Big pitch by Abernathy as Clemente, he was going for another shot onto Wayland, comes up empty, and the crowd is alive. 2 outs to go. Al Oliver, the batter. Alley gets the lead off of first base. And our first defensive check of the ball game. It's going to be a range play on third baseman, and that is Santo, who is a C, and 88. 88, he is going to get to that, and no double play. Runner's going to get to second base, so the tying run now. Nice play by Santo is at second base for the Cubbies in the form of Gene Alley and Manny Sanguillen. This is it. Last shot for the Bucs. And checking in the chat, which I've neglected, Bears Den 07, what's happening? I think it is true the Cubs are more loved than the White Sox. Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware, what's up, buddy? Happy Sunday to you. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Fergie racked up an insane amount of innings in this replay. In real life, this is start 37. He had 270 coming into this in real life. In the replay, I've rode him even harder. He's got 284 right now. And he lasted 8 in this one. So here we go. 2 down. Last chance for the Pirates. And Abernathy, that's going to be a tough result. And Sanguillen, and just foul tipped and hung on to by Hundley. Strike 3. Ball game is over. So that was right on the edge of his strikeout range and tough at 29. And Hundley hung on. And the Cubbies come all the way back for the victory. 3-2, a classic Fergie game in this replay. Another epic pitchers duel. So quick recap here. Fergie looked like he was going to have troubles early. So Pirates, their line score is 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And for the Cubs, 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Winning pitcher is Fergie Jenkins. He goes to 24-10 in the replay. And loser is going to be Bob Moose, who came on and could not hang on in relief of Bob Veal, who pitched a pretty good game. So Fergie only 4 hits in 8 innings. And was victimized twice by the long ball. In the third, it was Bob Veal, of all people, that took him deep, the opposing pitcher. And then followed that up in the fourth. Roberto Clemente hit a moonshot, put it on the stairway to heaven, Led Zeppelin style, onto Waveland Avenue. Pirates had a 2-0 lead. Cubbies came back in the 5th after a strikeout and flyout to start the inning. Kessinger walked. Glenn Beckert singled, and then sweet swinging Billy Williams, the 2-out, 2-run triple, knotted it up. It stayed that way until the 8th when Jim Hickman, who'd reached on a fielder's choice, was walked in by Bob Moose, who walked pinch hitter Willie Smith, and that was the difference as coming on to get the save is Abernathy and the Cubbies, just like they did in real life, a little closer. They won it in real life 8-2. Hang on here, 3-2, as Fergie 24 victories now, and he's got a shot to end up with 28 with 4 starts remaining. So let's just recap. And yeah, I thought your Pirates would have this, Chris. It looked like they were going to rattle Fergie. He was laying a lot of wheelhouse throws in there, and they took him deep, but then he settled down. He actually didn't have a strikeout in this game until the 5th inning, and then ended up with a total of 5 over the final 3 innings he pitched. So it just took him a while to find his groove, but he found it. And as usual, another close game with Fergie. So just a few more starts to go on this one. This has been fun. It's taken me quite a while because I always get too many damn balls up in the air, too many projects going, but it's been fun, and it's going to be fun recapping this over the next couple of weeks when we finish it up. So coming up on the channel, we will have, again, I'm working on the second heavyweight set for Glory Days Boxing. And the next fight we're going to have is one of the fighters who will be in that set, taking on one of the fighters from the first heavyweight set. Mitch Green is going to get his rubber match against Mike Tyson. Well, actually, just his third, I guess. In real life, Tyson decisioned him. Green wanted a rematch, and that took place outside of the ring, outside of a Harlem boutique at 2 in the morning. And Tyson gave Green a swollen left eye for his troubles. Green, ironically enough, took Tyson to court, filed a civil suit, and was awarded $45,000, which actually exceeded the payday of $30,000 that he got in his first fight against Tyson in the ring legally. So sometimes crime does pay. But we're going to let them fight for the 3rd time and see if Green can, again, go the distance, or if Tyson can put him to sleep this time. And then the other thing, I'm going to have been doing a little bit of work on Glory Days Baseball game. Of course, it's still a long ways from release, but it did some reformatting and tweaked the gameplay a little bit. So I'm going to have a demo of that to trying to get some feedback on the new system. What I did basically was it used to take 2 die rolls to resolve an at-bat, because we roll for contact first. And then the no walk and strikeout roll on the contact card, either batter or pitcher for hit. And what I've done is kind of streamline that process so that there's only a single roll of the dice to resolve the at-bat now, which I like, and I've been trying to find a way to do that for a little bit. And also changed up the cards a little bit to add some more variability in the results. So there's no sequential results now. It's off a matrix. So again, just finishing tweaking that up, and we'll have that on the channel, kind of a alpha preview probably by next weekend. So anyway, thanks to everyone for stopping in. And we'll just close down the chat here. Bears Den, thanks a lot. Captain Carl was here for the entire game. Appreciate it. Remember the great sports. Check out that great channel. And Chris, what projects do you have going currently? I know you've been had a couple of Glory Days fights up, which I appreciate. Thank you. And playing, I believe, some Ava tricks from play.com. Captain Carl, who else? Bears Den, thanks for stopping in as well. And you know what? Going into his last start where he was kind of rattled around and gave up 3 long balls in that, he did. I mean, he had a very good chance, I think, to reach 30 wins, and I was kind of disappointed he lost that game, because it would have been cool to come into the final game with this replay with him sitting at 29 wins. And if he would have gotten to that point, I think we definitely would have made the historical alteration and given the Cubs a division title and taken them into the playoffs and maybe the World Series and broken the curse a little bit earlier. But probably not going to happen now. But anyways, all right. So yeah, thanks to everyone for joining. Appreciate it. And Chris is doing 80s tournament diamond sets. That's Strat, right, Chris? But hope everyone has a great day and you are continuing to stay safe in this madness. I know I'm going a little stir crazy. And in Arizona, the heat is finally here. I think we had our first 100+ degree day today, 102 right now. Actually, it was 102 yesterday. So, yeah, the time I had been spending outside isn't going to be as frequent either until that slows down. But all right, everyone, have a good night. Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming signing off. Once again, Cubbies win 3-2. Fergie, win number 24, and we'll be back for the next one. Have a good night.